الله أكبر الله أكبر. الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفر ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله. قال الله تبارك وتعالى: وأذن في الناس بالحج يأتوك رجالا وعلى كل ضامر يأتين من كل فج عميق. وقال تبارك وتعالى: وأتموا الحج والعمرة لله. وقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم: الحج المبرور ليس له جزاء إلا الجنة، أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. My respected brothers and sisters, we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we seek His assistance, and we are grateful to Him today, especially more than other days, because today is one of the days which is very unique from others. Not only are we blessed to be in the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah, which according to the Quran and Hadith are the most virtuous of days in the entire year, these first 10 days. And then on top of that, according to Hafiz ibn Hajar rahimahullah, he says that a Friday in the month of Dhul Hijjah in the first 10 days is better than every other Friday. And this year, we are getting both Fridays in the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. So truly, this is a very virtuous day, and it just adds to the more rewards that a person can do. Now, there are many things that we can do in this month, but the topic that I wanted to talk about, one of the most virtuous of deeds that anyone can do in this month, is exactly the reason that this month was named, and that is Dhul Hijjah, the month in which Hajj happens, in which one of the greatest of fara'id, one of the greatest pillars of Islam, the Hajj, is taking place. And even though we are here today, we have our brothers, our sisters, someone from our family or friends that has gone for that Hajj. And even though we are not with them physically, we are there spiritually with them, our hearts are with them. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept their du'as and to take them and bring them back safely. And then inshallah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes us from amongst them next year, those who go for this pilgrimage. Ameen. So, what is this about? What is this entire Hajj? And to put it into a few words, it is the celebration and the commemoration of the sacrifices of Ibrahim alayhi salam and his family. How far a person can go and how far these people can go to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to say, you know what, I'm ready to sacrifice everything and anything, oh Allah, as long as you are happy. As long as you are pleased with me, oh Allah, I am ready to give everything I have. And this is very beloved to Allah. That zeal, that faith, that that want to give and to basically give yourself up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is very beloved to Allah. So after the completion of the Kaaba, we know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to Ibrahim alayhi salam, وَأَذِّن فِي النَّاسِ بِالْحَجِّ, and proclaim the call for the Hajj. And you will see, O Ibrahim, the people will come from every corner. They will come walking, they will come on every type of ride, whether it's a strong or weak animal, and they will come from all corners of the world. Ibrahim alayhi salam said, oh Allah, there is no one here. Yani I'm calling, but I don't see anybody. Not a single person, no one in sight. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to him that you make the call and I will make sure I will get that answered. It is upon me to get this answered, it is upon you to make the call. And so Ibrahim alayhi salam makes this call. And after thousands of years later, or approximately 4,000 years, we see that the amount of people that are coming and answering this call every single year. Every single year till today, from that time, are the people coming, and so much so, in such abundance that today there has been restrictions to how many people can come, because it's too much for them to handle. So when he went on top of this mountain, the Khutbah, and he answered, he made this call not thinking what will happen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made that call reach, and it went so far that the muhaddithin, and they say that every person and everything that was there, even the trees and everything, it took that message. To the extent that Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu says that there is, the place of arwah, of souls, before we came into this world. That there was an alam, there's a world of the souls, where before the souls went into the body, they were at this place. And every one of them took this message. When they heard, the ones that said labbaik, according to Ibn Abbas, will actually get the chance to do the Hajj in this world. And after this call has made, every single year, without any interruption in the past, how many years, how many wars, world wars, and you name it, everything has happened, and yet Hajj has never been interrupted. It is continuous every single year. Even in the time of Jahiliyyah, it has happened. It was continuous. And when we see, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَأْتُوكَ رِجَالًا, that people will be coming walking. There are people today that even still walk, that they have no other means. And in any which way, you name the transportation, the mode, they are using that today and they are coming. Some people will walk, some people will ride a bike, and we've seen that. Just recently, a few days back, there are 8 people from England, from UK, who went and took this journey from England all the way to Medina. And they went 2,000 plus miles. They crossed how many different countries? And they took this journey. And this is our age, where they're actually, recording this, and in every place they're making a video and talking about it. But this has been happening for years, where there was no recording, where no one else knows. And people, the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, are answering this call. And they're going out of their way, and they're going on a journey, some of them not even knowing if they'll be able to return. Because now we have so much means. Back then, who had the means? Some people would go, even maybe our grandparents, some of you, you know, that have gone through ship, not knowing how that journey would be. But the people went, because they had that love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they went ahead. So people would be coming, walking, riding on every type of animal, even those animals, the word that's used here, kulli damir. The word damir, according to the ulama, is basically an animal that is weak, or an animal that does not have much muscle. So as long as it can do the job and get us, they would even use that. And then you have the cars, and then you have, we travel in the most fanciest of ways in the planes. But in every which way people will travel. And they will come from every corner of the world. There is not a single country, there is not a single language, there is not a certain kind of people that are not there in the Hajj at this moment. It is the most diverse gathering in the world, in humanity, ever. No one has seen such a gathering on an annual basis. That the most, from every race and every color, this is the beauty of Islam. That today the whole world is there. And as far as being the largest gathering, as an annual basis, on an annual, it is the largest. No other gathering can compare. There have been gatherings every few years that people will come through. And maybe after a couple of years, there might be a couple of million people, but that's once in many years. And even that gathering, it is not this diverse. There might be just one or two type of people, yani. So this, where the entire world is coming, every passport, every single person coming to the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and making this call, it is one of a kind, and there's nothing like this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, "O people," and the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "O people, Allah has prescribed the Hajj, so do the Hajj." And Allah is saying, and complete the Hajj and the Umrah for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is upon us. So this is a fard to those, there are conditions, and we'll get to that. But yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is calling the people for this Hajj. And He said the Hujjaj and the Umar, those who are doing Hajj and the Umrah, they are the guests of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And how do you think Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will treat His guests? So the virtues of Hajj and its fada'il is innumerable. There are so many, we can go on with that. But the point here is to say that in this time, in these days, this is a very beloved action, and there have been people who have left everything behind. There are people who have left everything behind them, going for this journey, not knowing, many of them from certain countries, how their journey back will be, how will their return be. But they're going because they've left the dunya and the world behind. They are coming in the cloth that basically they can be buried in. And they're going and they're asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His mercy and His forgiveness. And they're doing this journey because of the love that they had. No one would be able to go through this much difficulty, especially in the traveling, if they didn't have that in their heart. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned this, and He takes pride in this. The coming Thursday, we expect that it is the 9th of Arafah, which is one of the greatest days in this month of Dhul Hijjah, in which the Hujjaj will gather. And when they gather, they will be there from the Dhuhr all the way to the evening, till the Maghrib. And they will be praying and asking dua. And they will be in a state where they will be tired. They will be disheveled. They will have, and so much after all of that. And what is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying to His angels? He says to them that bear witness that these people are doing all of this for me and answering my call. You bear witness, I have forgiven their sins. And this day of Arafah, because of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His forgiveness, there's no worse day for the shaitan. There's no other day that he's more humiliated, and he's more disgraced in that day. And every step a Haji takes, a sin is forgiven, and his stage is elevated. And every single ritual that he does, it is mentioned in the Quran also, that how he is going from one place to the other, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, how that it is beloved to Allah, because this is again emanating the footsteps of His beloved Ibrahim alayhi salam. So this is something truly to understand, and the reward. The Prophet ﷺ said, as I mentioned the hadith, Al-Hajjul Mabrur laysa lahu jaza'un illa al-Jannah. That the true Hajj, the Hajj that is accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is no other reward except for Jannah, for this Hajj. And now I wanted to mention a few points that there are some warnings because there are people who don't realize the importance of the Hajj. They don't realize that this is a pillar of Islam, and that is for many people, especially in this part of the world, it is fard on them. And not knowing the importance, sometimes it makes us delay. And it makes us sometimes just overlook it. So the Prophet ﷺ said in many different hadith, and I don't want to get to, I'd rather talk about the virtues and the fada'il than instead of giving any type of warnings. That there are people who in one way reject it. And if they reject it, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not guide those people. And whoever has the means, and this, by the way, many of the ulama say this is either a hadith directly from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or this is an athar of the Sahaba directly from the Khalifa Ali radiyallahu an. That he says, and either one of them, if they say this is valid, they said that whoever has the means of Hajj and still does not make an effort, does not intend, does not go, might as well die as a Yahudi or a Nasrani. And he might as well leave this world without the state of Islam. If a person continuously does this, purposely does this. So, dear brothers and sisters, as I'd like to stand here and say this, that there should be a plan and there should be a niyyah. Every good deed, when there's a niyyah, that reward is doubled. Just for having the niyyah, you get the reward. I'd like to ask the brothers, there's more room on the side to my left. If the brothers can please come forward. So for every good niyyah and intention a person has for a good deed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards that person before he even does that deed. And if he goes on and does it, then he gets the reward for that. What should be the plan for, and the niyyah for the Hajj? That it is not something that can be done, it can be decided overnight. This is something that could take time, especially in our time, as every year we see that it's getting more and more difficult for many people. So there has to be a plan. There has to be something where we can save, either monthly or however we can do it. But if we start now, it could be a year, it could be 2 years. For many people, within 2 years, it's not that difficult. It should be made, the niyyah should be made. I haven't gone this year, I should make an intention for next year. And we leave the rest to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If the intention is strong, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make the ways. There's a small incident that comes to mind. When we say save up, this is this story that comes to mind that is related by Abdullah ibn Mubarak rahimahullah. Abdullah ibn Mubarak was such a person. Number one, he was the teacher, one of the teachers of Imam Bukhari. Secondly, he was one of the very few scholars, probably one of the only imams that was never criticized. Abdullah ibn Mubarak. 1 year he would go in jihad, 1 year he would go in Hajj. So once after coming back from a Hajj, after completing the Hajj, coming back on his way, he stopped at a place and there he was residing for a few days. He went to sleep, he had a dream. In his dream, 2 angels came and they started to speak with one another. One of them said, how many people have gone for Hajj this year? The other said, 60,000 people. And this is at the time of Abdullah ibn Mubarak. Said 60,000 people. The other angel said, no one Hajj is accepted except one person. No one's Hajj is accepted except one person. Now, and Abdullah ibn Mubarak heard this and he was shocked. He woke up. And in that dream, at the end, they told him that this one person whose Hajj is accepted, he didn't even go for the Hajj. He didn't even go for the Hajj. And he stays at a place near Damascus. And he's a cobbler. He's someone who fixes shoes, someone who's very poor. So he got up and he's sweating and he's worried. What did I just hear? What kind of news is this? He went, he took the journey. He goes to Damascus. He finds out the whereabouts of this person. He goes to his house, he meets him, he asks him, confirms, is this you? Said, yes. Said, please tell me, what did you do? Or what happened? And he sits with him and then he explains to him. He says, look, for the last 20 years of my life, I'm not a rich person, but for the last 20 years, I've been saving. I've been saving and working hard and saving so that I may go do Hajj of the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And after 20 years, I finally had the means to go. I finally had enough so I can go for the Hajj. But what happened? He says my wife was pregnant. And at that time, what happened was she was very hungry. An incident happened where she became very hungry. And if a woman is expecting and she's hungry, she needs that food. She smelled some food from the neighbor, and they were cooking some meat. So she smelled that food and she said, please go and ask them for some food. I would really want that. And he went. So he says, I went to the neighbor, I asked, I said, please, if you can please give us some of that food that you're cooking. And the lady that answered, she said that this food, this meat, it is halal for us and it is haram for you. I said, what? She said, it's haram for me and halal for you. How is that possible? So she said, look, I have many kids and we have not eaten for days. And it is to the point of starvation. And I was walking today and I've seen a dead donkey. And I went to this and I took the meat from this and I cooked it, and this is the meat that you are smelling. First of all, we can't eat donkey. Second of all, a dead animal is already haram. But when there comes a point to such starvation where it's life and death, then it becomes okay. Then anything is halal. So what happens? She says, this is how I got this. He heard this and he goes back home. And the amount of money that he saved for the last 20 years of his life, he takes this and he brings it and he gives it to this woman and he says, this is my Hajj. He gives it and he says, this is my Hajj. And Abdullah ibn Mubarak, looking at this, understands that this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts. That niyyah, that effort, that show to Allah, that desire, the love for Him, and what you can do for Him, and how far would you go to please Him. So this is what, to relate to this story, to relate to what I'm saying, is that the niyyah should be there. Do we have any idea how much people will save, how many years, what difficulty they go through just so they can make it for Hajj once in their lifetime? Brothers and sisters, there are two conditions really. It comes down to those two things. Number one, if you're physically fit, if you have the capability, you can move around, you're able to do it without that much difficulty. And the second thing is you're financially capable, of course, right? And financially capable, really, if you want to explain, it doesn't mean that you cannot afford the VIP package, but rather a package that is fit for your, social economic status. Basically, what you're able to afford in your level, and we all know where we stand. If we can afford it, we can do it. It is not that far away. It's not that difficult. Yes, the money is an issue. However, again, no one grows money or dollars on trees. It will come through saving. It will come through planning. And we have to do that. And the other thing, another point is that everyone can pay, and when they have to do the Hajj, it is for yourself first more than everyone else. That if the father or the man of the house can afford for himself, it is not necessary, it is not wajib for him to make sure that his family come along. It would be great. And hear me out. Many people, they delay for years because of this one reason. We do not know what is going to happen tomorrow. We don't know where we're going to be next year. We have to plan. If a person has the amount, he has the ability, then he should do it for himself. It is wajib upon himself. So no father is obliged for his son, neither the other way around, and similarly between the spouses. If the husband pays for his wife, it is noble, it is expected. But however, that cannot be the excuse for delaying for years and years. As we know, every year it becomes more and more difficult. The second thing is, understand that this is fard. And I will try to end my first khutbah with this. I repeat again, it is a fard. It is a pillar of Islam. That means that this is more important. And just as the salah, as the siyam, it is more important than every other type of savings that we have. More important than your retirement fund. More important than the college fund. It is a wajib like the salah. So it is more important than all the other expenses. It is something we need to save for. And the scholars came to this point, to the extent that they discussed whether a man who is not married, should he marry or should he go for Hajj? Should he marry first or should he go for Hajj? The answer to this is, there's no one answer. It depends on the person, really. It's the individual. That's not the point I want to make. It's not this mas'ala issue. The point is, they went to this extent to talk about this, showing you how important the Hajj really is. If they can get to that extent. So this is something to think about, something to really put in our minds and make an intention as the call is being made. We see it months before. And so if we make an intention, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easy. This is truly one of the most virtuous deeds of this month. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it easy for us. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروا إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده. قال الله تبارك وتعالى: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وبارك على محمد وأزواجه وذريته وأصحابه أبو بكر عمر عثمان وعلي رضي الله عنهم أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, I like to mention an incident where the Sahaba were gathered by the Prophet ﷺ, and many of them had similar issues to what we have as far as the financial is concerned. There were some who were suffering, who were going through a lot of difficulty, and many a times people don't realize. When you're in the community, sometimes people are very, the word is yani waqar, or they have a lot of self-dignity, where they will not make you even seem that they are in need. You will not even realize that they need something. That is how they keep themselves, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves that quality. However, when things get difficult, sometimes a person has to come to ask. And so the Prophet ﷺ realized and knew that there are many people who have these issues. And even though his answer wasn't always the same, there were many different remedies. But at this certain moment, when he asked, or when they were talking, he said that, shall I not tell you something that will remove your poverty and your sins? Together, shall I not tell you something that will remove your poverty? So much so, he gave the example like the dirt is removed from the iron, or the rust. Yani, how quickly can a person recover from his poverty? Shall I not tell you how you can remove it? They said, do tell us, O Prophet of Allah. He said, تَابِعُوا بَيْنَ الْحَجِّ وَالْعُمْرَةِ. He said, do Hajj and Umrah again and again, one after the other. To do Hajj one after the other. And this will make you not only in the dunya, in the akhirah, not only will your faith increase, not only will you become a better person, here in this world you will benefit, you will become rich. This is something really that takes faith. It takes true yaqeen. If you can understand this, that wait a minute, here I'm spending so much, I'm spending all of this, and I'm here being promised that I'm going to become rich. Truly, this is a promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that does not fall short. And we have seen it, experienced it. Many people have seen this. And this is what makes many people go again and again. And they're able to go again. Truly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses a person with wealth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes means. Allah makes things easy for that person to do Hajj and Umrah as much as they can, over and over. And then there's this excuse from the shaitan, really, that, you know what, I'm not spiritually ready. I'm not ready yet. I'm not that good yet. I'd like to get better spiritually. I'd like to improve myself. This can, when will that time come? Truly. When can a person say, yes, now I am fit. Now I am ready. Now I'm so good, I can go. This will never happen. A person will go for Hajj, and Allah Ta'ala has changed many people, millions of people's lives change. Every year we see when people come back from Hajj, there is a difference. Lives change. And there, how could it not be that a person spends his wealth, his time, his life, and for the sake of Allah, and nothing happens? How is that possible? So definitely, lives are changing through this, this virtuous and most auspicious journey of Hajj. And this is why it is linked to this time, in the most virtuous of days. It's not a coincidence. It is in the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. This is the time. And every good deed The Prophet ﷺ said that every good deed is loved by Allah more at this time than any other time of the year. So for those that are here, we try to fast, we increase in our salat, we increase in our charitable work, in any good thing, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves that, and we make an intention from today, and we plan from today. I plan and I make intention, and I remind all of you brothers and sisters that we all do the same, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us to do the Hajj in the following year. Say Ameen. اللهم اغفر لنا وللمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات. اللهم ألف بين قلوبنا وأصلح ذات بيننا واهدنا سبل السلام وجنبنا الفواحش ما ظهر منها وما بطن. اللهم إنا نسألك حبك وحب رسولك وحب من يحبك والعمل الذي يبلغنا حبك. آمين يا رب العالمين، آمين يا رب العالمين، آمين يا رب العالمين. عباد الله رحمكم الله، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. أقيموا الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر، أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله، أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح، قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر، لا إله إلا الله.
استو واعتدلوا. استو. Please make sure your heels on the line, shoulder to shoulder. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. وإذ بوأنا لإبراهيم مكان البيت ألا تشرك بي شيئا وطهر بيتي للطائفين والقائمين والركع السجود. وأذن في الناس بالحج يأتوك رجالا وعلى كل ضامر يأتين من كل فج عميق ليشهدوا منافع لهم ويذكروا اسم الله في أيام معلومات على ما رزقهم من بهيمة الأنعام فكلوا منها وأطعموا البائس الفقير ثم ليقضوا تفثهم وليوفوا نذورهم وليطوفوا بالبيت العتيق. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى. إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Jummah Mubarak to everybody. I do have quick reminders. Please, I will not take more than maybe about 3 minutes or so. So please pay attention. First of all, inshallah, we will be celebrating Eid al-Adha on the 1st of September with this next Jummah. The Salat al-Eid will be at 7:30. Takbirat will start at 7 o'clock. Once again, the Salat al-Eid will be at 7:30. And we will try to do it as close to 7:30 as possible. We may have about 5 minutes or so, but we will not have a second session officially. So please, everybody try to be on time. It'll be at across the street at the park where we normally do, not in that field that we did last time, Eid al-Fitr, but it is right across in the baseball field across from our masjid here. Also, on August 31st, the day before or the night before, for the 9th of Zulhijjah, which is the Yom al-Arafat, we will have arrangements for iftar here on our campus. So for all of those who are fasting, please, join us. We will have iftar on the 9th. On the same night, we will also have an Eid Bazaar starting right after Maghrib. So inshallah, plan on coming here and start, having a lot of fun for celebrating for the Eid. And on the same line, on behalf of the board of directors, we want to wish everybody, the best for the coming Eid, inshallah. The other couple things is our schools have started. We, as you all know, we run about 5 schools on campus here, from a preschool to madrasa to a regular school. They need some supplies. So if you can make some donations, if you have printer paper, printer supplies and things like that, school scissors, tapes, so please check on our website. It's listed. as to what they need, and if you can make some donations, please do so. They also need, if you have computers, so if you have any old computers that you want to donate to the school, if they are Windows 7 and higher, which is with a fairly decent processor that the students can use, you can donate to the school instead of giving it to Goodwill or somewhere else. Our youth group will be holding they're restarting the youth group activities, and they will be holding their ice cream social next, it says Friday. No, it is on Friday, not next Friday. It's Friday, September 8th, the Jummah after Eid. And the youth will meet here at 9 p.m. for introductory activities so that all the youth can introduce themselves. And after that, they will go to Baskin-Robbins at 10 p.m. So this is for youth 14 and higher. So I think I will go with them. They didn't say what is the upper limit. So Islamic Relief and Helping Hand for Relief and Development are conducting their annual global Udiyah Zabiya Qurbani campaign for 2017. I believe Islamic Relief has a table outside, and also for Helping Hand, you can go to the website and make your donations that you need to do. They help in different countries all over the world. Also, a couple more final things. Please make dua for all the Muslims that are suffering throughout the world, especially in this time of Eid and need. Also, please make dua of Shifa for our Mushtaq Qadri's wife, who is still in ICU. I had announced about this a week ago, and she's still in ICU, and she's going through some complications of pneumonia. Please keep her in your duas. The final thing, we have been trying to verify the authenticity of halal, Zabiya halal meat that is being sold in the different stores here, like Simply Fresh, for the Seatown, and we have not validated at this point. So if you're buying meat from the stores, please verify yourself to make sure that you're buying, as labeled, and we will continue the process of trying to make sure that the meat, and we will let everybody know about our findings in the next week or two, inshallah. So in the meantime, please make sure when you're buying meat from the local stores that it is the proper meat that you're wanting to buy. Jazakallah, assalamu alaikum.